We're back with It's Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show. Eric and Jordan here with you for television, movies, streaming updates, all of those things that there's so much out there, so many platforms. It's hard to keep track of what's going on, what's getting canceled, what's getting renewed and recast in today's imaginary revisionist world for Snape being black, and then all kinds of debauchery happens after that stuff. By the way, we got to get into the Harry Potter stuff.
We will.
Very interesting things surrounding all of that stuff. Plus, J.K. Rowling's had a law passed over in the UK. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
So I guess whatever the Supreme Court version is of the UK ruled that there are, as far as official capacity, there's men are men and women are women. She's on that huge crusade about all that stuff, and they ruled in the favor of what she's been talking about, and now it's just pandemonium over there. The UK is interesting and fucked in all kinds of directions, so I love reading the news, what's going over there, more than the craziness that's going over here, because now it's just more of the same. But over there, new weird shit's popping up, and I'm very fascinated about that. But we'll get to that in just a second. What we start off segment 2 is stuff that we've been watching, listening to, what have you. Jordan, tell everybody what you've been up to.
I finally watched that Minecraft movie.
Oh, wait, before you get into that, sorry, got to go off. The music we're playing, sorry.
Oh, see, I didn't.
Hulk Hogan. That's his theme song, Real American here.
Real American.
Rick Derringer passed away.
He did, 77 years old. He was also famous for Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, Hang On Sloopy. He did a lot of session work with artists like Steely Dan and Barbra Streisand. But yeah, he did Hulk Hogan's ageless Real American. But yeah, he has passed. His caretaker, Tony Wilson, confirmed. I guess there was no cause of death announced, but he had been in ill health over the recent months. So yes, we just lost him, I think like a day ago. So
sad.
I know. I'm like, oh no.
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo sounds like a movie that's played in every kind of like 70s stoner movie or something about that's being played somewhere as people are trying to go to a concert.
I actually like that song, and I was actually playing that song before I even knew he died. I played that song the other night. I like to play a little bit of Rock Band every now and then. It's fun to live a little bit of a fantasy world with some guitars and plastic video game stuff, and that's one of the songs on there. So I was playing Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. And then, yeah, he passed away.
Mama, light my fuse. I'm trying to remember the movie. Oh, Dazed and Confused.
Was that on there?
It was on
there.
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking in my head. I'm like stoner movie, kind of 70s. I'm like, what movie am I thinking of? It's Dazed and Confused.
Another person that died, Jared the Geek brought up, Peter Kwong died. He played Rain in Big Trouble in Little China. I think he was in another. I don't have a picture with him. I think he was also in The Golden Child. You would notice him when you see him, but yeah, you would. He just.
I haven't seen either of those movies, and I should.
Really?
And I've never seen Golden Child, and I've never seen Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, Big Trouble in Little China is one of my favorites. Pork Chop Express, great soundtrack, so good. John Carpenter. Everyone go watch that movie.
What have you been watching?
And then I watched Minecraft. Didn't really enjoy it. I mean, it's fine. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Lava, chicken.
I just rolled my eyes when that part came on, but it's not terrible. I could see where they were going to just appeal to like everyone with like ADD. I think Momoa was actually a lot funnier and better in that movie than I thought he would be.
He was like a good loser.
He was like, yeah, he really does. Like, you got the good looks and the muscles, and he really leans into just the mopish, losery types.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good for you.
Jared's mad at me. He said, you really need to watch both. I
really do.
I promise. There's a whole bunch of movies I still have not watched, but I'm trying to get
I love The Golden Child. It's one of my favorites. And then I've been watching Final Destination movies. I've been running through those. Apparently, because of the new movie that's come out, they have hit the top 10 charts on Max, HBO, whatever you want to call it. Getting a bit of resurgence. So I starting them in order. I watched part 1 and part 2. I watched part 2 last night. Part 1 wasn't as gory as I remembered it being. Like, it was very tame considering. Like they did see a decapitation, but there wasn't like blood splatting everywhere or anything like that. It was kind of very tame considering. And then part 2 just ramped it up and people were getting squished and they just got crazier as they went along. So I'm going to run through those and then I'm going to watch the newest one soon too.
What was the story about Final Destination that a theater collapsed?
So there was a theater in Argentina. Now, the only reason I didn't bring it up is because there was not a lot of footage. Like there was one picture maybe, but there wasn't any like live footage of it. But there was a theater down in Argentina where I think about like 40 people were sitting there watching the new Final Destination movie and the theater collapsed. Like the roof caved in and collapsed on it. The one thing that did, there was no, casualties, which is good. But one thing that that made me laugh reading the story about this is that a mom of 29, she was like, yeah, it was crazy. I took my daughter 11 to go see this. Yeah, it just collapsed right down.
These are all stills. There's no video footage.
No, and that's why I didn't find it.
Did you get a lot of people sending you the clips of that other theater
in Puerto Rico from a year ago
with the water collapsing on the thing? They're like, this happened while watching Final Destination. It's like, no, that was from our hurricane. I think, right? Wasn't it one of the hurricanes?
No, it was a internal sprinkler system issue. So like the fire suppression system in like all these buildings had a big leak and it was building up and it built over this theater. And then eventually all the weight of that water just dropped it down. That way, when you watch like the footage of it, you can see all that water running through it. That's all from their internal sprinkler system.
Jeez.
It was crazy. So I'm still playing Expedition 33 next week. God willing, by the end of the week, I will have the Switch 2. So I could do a review of that. Probably not Thursday, so probably not 2 more shows. I'll have a full review of that with the new Mario Kart.
Have a porch pirate, or that it just arrives all smashed up and.
Thankfully, I work from home, so that's a hard thing to do for me. So I do that, and then Linkin Park, their last album that they put out back in November, they updated and added 3 more songs. So I've been listening to that because I will be going to see them in September. They released 3 more to the album called Up From the Bottom, Unshatter, and Let You Fade. They're good songs. They fit the album. I think she's serviceable as a replacement. When she's doing her stuff with this new album, I'm still kind of iffy on the old catalog that she's now singing. But it's not terrible. So, but I mean, it was a slow week. I haven't really been watching a lot. Like I said to you earlier, I feel like I lost an entire day with the holiday this past Monday. I keep thinking it's a different day than it is. So like, I have not caught up with my life. So what have you been watching?
What did I watch? I watched, the latest episode of Doctor Who.
Okay.
I have to say this season is better than the last season. It really is. He was crying in the first few episodes. He hasn't cried since.
Gotcha.
There's still the stories are good. They brought back a really old villain that you haven't seen since like the early 80s. Irani, which is another Time Lord that apparently, because during the last Doctor's run, they blew up the planet entirely. Like it was gone and they don't exist. And he was going around saying, I'm the last of the Time Lords. So this one came back and now she teased they're opening up this other universe for another Time Lord to come back who's been gone since the 70s, named Omega. Wow. So it's like, we're bringing all these fucking Time Lords back now. What the hell's going on? They bring back that fake doctor that they keep trying to say is a real doctor, the fugitive doctor that showed up once or twice. And so that pisses me off. But the stories have been pretty decent. So I'm conflicted. I'm still fighting with people online that are saying it's coming back for another season. It's not. Disney is not.
No one said anything about it yet.
No, Disney has not made a mention that they're coming back. BBC has not put out anything that the show's being renewed. Right now, it's in limbo or purgatory, as I was hoping. But there's a publication over there which is pretty much a rag, like the National Enquirer or something was here. It's called The Sun.
I was going to say, is it The Sun? Yeah.
They're reporting they're quoting other sources that are not super legitimate, but they're kind of in a roundabout way that the doctor's getting fired. Like they're not renewing him. They're not bringing him back. I've been fighting with people online when they were talking about this. I go, source, please. Where did you see this? They said it. The showrunner said it. Russell Davies said it. Shooty McGavin said it. And you're like, just because they said it doesn't mean that it's happening. That's a legitimate source. No, it's not. Actors go all on, and producers, directors say shit in the media all the time when they're having a conflict with the studio, or the studio's dragging their feet, or the studio said flat out, no, they don't want to do anything. They always say shit in the media so that the pressure comes on the studios from the public to make things happen. They're saying this, and they were saying it in public because the two networks involved with it have not said anything. So that's a bad situation. So they're trying to make it happen. And then you get all these fucking confused dorks online starting shit with like this. And then there's stupid me. I have no other outlets to get this out. So I just attack Doctor Who fans. It's something that I love. It's like me going after Simpsons fans. I should. I haven't done this. I haven't stepped back into the Simpsons world to do all that stuff. I haven't seen any hostility as there is with Doctor Who. But
as of right now, there's no news on a new season. Nothing. There's no signing for a new season, but they are bringing back two fan favorites. Karen Gillan, and Arthur Darvill are coming back to Doctor Who.
No, they're not.
But as part of a docu-series where they're going to be behind the scenes.
They're not.
That's it. No. So they're not even going to do anything good with that.
No, they're not coming back in that extent. Nope. So I watched that episode, and now the season finale is, I think, this week. So it'll be interesting to see what they're doing with all this. I got to finish Gemstones, and I started. Huh?
Did you finish Andor?
Oh no, I got to finish. I forgot about Andor. I got to finish it. I'm halfway through episode 11, so I got to finish that up.
So you're almost done.
I started watching, and then something happened with the kid, so I forgot to go back to it. I got 5 minutes into it, the Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Oh, I know, me too. And I was like, I am not in a place to watch it yet, so I just like turned it off because I knew I wouldn't focus.
Right. So I have to go back and rewatch it because I really want to watch it. I want to sit there and focus on it because that's something I'm really going to enjoy. I've been watching a lot of Bill Maher clips that have been showing up on YouTube and on my social media streams there, with Bill Maher talking to various people about shit going on over in the UK, stuff going on over here. I don't know what happened, but in the last few years, I've really become a big Bill Maher fan. And it's not because it's not, look, he's hated by everybody on all sides. Mm-hmm. And they all say, oh, he's converting, he's kissing Trump's ass, he's kissing all the conservatives' ass. And then the conservatives say, oh, he's a liberal douche, he's been that way for years. Honestly, I think because he's a comic, he approaches a lot of this stuff as a comic. He's very snarky, he's very mean in his tone with a lot of things. So I think that's why he's not happy-go-lucky, or he's not trying to please one side on this shit. He doesn't give a fuck really about it. When it comes down to it, he really doesn't care about any of this stuff. But he does what he does because that's what he's been doing. Like he's had the same kind of show for 30 years now. Politically Incorrect started on Comedy Central, then moved to ABC. Then he got the HBO deal, and he's been doing that for like 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. So I've really have enjoyed, because he has everybody on. It doesn't matter what side or whatever the stuff. So I've been enjoying him arguing with people and him agreeing on other things, because you don't see anybody doing that. Whether you agree with him or not, it doesn't matter. But everybody who interviews people, they're interviewing people that they agree with. If they're trying to interview people that they don't agree with, they don't really ask the questions to show why they don't agree with these people. He smokes a joint and he just sits there and he goes, yeah, but you sound like an idiot. Like he says that flat out. And that, I think it's the cadence, the way he's doing a lot of this stuff is what I enjoy more than what he's saying in a lot of things. So the Bill Maher real time. Is it real time? Yeah. Real time
with Bill Maher.
Those clips I've been enjoying. His podcast clips I've been enjoying because he has everybody from all different walks of life on that thing too. Yeah, I've been surprised because I've been looking through my history and go, I'm watching a lot of Bill Maher clips. I didn't really realize it, but yeah, I've been enjoying that. I've been trying to catch up on Tim Dillon because I'm way behind on a lot of his stuff. And I got to watch the new season of Rick and Morty that just started on Friday.
Just came last week, yeah.
So that episode's on my list on HBO Max. Oh, I caught up with Conan.
Did you? Okay, so they did. I think the 4th episode's out now.
Haven't seen that. I just watched.
Okay, so you watched Austria then?
Spain, New Zealand. Spain, New Zealand, Austria. Yeah, those are the ones I watched.
Me too.
So I watched those 3.
The Austrian one was fucking hilarious when he was playing Sigmund Freud, and then he went on this rant about how he's doing shitty work for HBO and all this stuff. I laughed so hard. The
one premise he kept setting up over and over, where he would get the wrong answer from the guy, and he would just turn around and walk out the door slowly, and then it cuts back to him there again. He asks another question. The guy tells him, "No, I don't think you're that funny." Whatever. He'd turn around and walk out. That gag kept going on and on.
So hard.
And then when he was sitting there on the couch, he looked like Letterman.
Yeah.
Like if Letterman had his beard under control, the way he had the glass and everything, he looks like Letterman.
Yeah, it was weird.
In the Sigmund Freud setup. And then he was laying down on the couch. Which
wasn't even a couch. It was an air mattress.
Oh, that's what it was. And then the guy stabbed it and he stayed there the whole time. And they just kept cutting to different camera angles of him laying there like this, staring at the ceiling as it's slowly deflating.
I laughed so hard.
It's one of those the gag goes too long that it's funny, becomes uncomfortable, then becomes funny again.
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, this is an SNL bit where they don't know where to go with it, so they keep going until they find their footing. And this one, like, you're right. The whole bit was weird, talking about like, sleeping with your mother or your father, being jealous of this, or talking about his penis. But then it like really morphed into like him complaining about his gig with HBO and how he's a trained monkey or whatever. I laughed so hard. And then he did the bit where he's like, I'm being paid per country, so let's go to Liechtenstein.
Oh yeah,
and then he goes into another country and is like, "Pay me HBO," and then he was just, "Oh my god!"
He just points to the sign and he's dancing like a monkey.
It was one of my favorite episodes.
Liechtenstein, and then he does the quick hack edit of Conan O'Brien Must Go, and it says to Liechtenstein.
The Defiler. Yeah,
it's like another country, pay me, and then he just dances off back. And
just leaves, goes back to Austria. It was one of my favorite episodes. It was by far one of my favorites. So.
And then this too, Woodpitch talking about Welcome to Wrexham. Yes, I am on the 2nd episode of the new season, so I am enjoying that as well. All right, what is out right now in theaters? Movie no one's gonna see or care about, The Karate Kid Legends, because it's mixing 2 different storylines, 2 different timelines of The Karate Kid together, and it's just like, this is just a fucking last ditch money grab because the last season of the show flopped because people said it took too long to get that last half of the last season out, and people lost interest, and this is what they're doing. So Karate Kid Legends is in theater, and then Bring Her Back. What is that? It's
a horror movie from the same guys that did Talk to Me. I haven't watched a lot of it. I know Giddles is going to go see that tomorrow. I'm avoiding a lot of trailers nowadays where I'm really like, I'll watch one, it looks creepy, and then I want nothing to do with it because so many things are getting spoiled. So It's another indie horror by the guys who brought you Talk to Me. It looks good. I was kind of mixed on Talk to Me. I think Giddles really liked it. I think it was kind of like it lacked toward the end, but I thought, it was very serviceable by 2 guys who I think got their start making like YouTube videos. So like they're really doing well doing that. Over on HBO Max, Conan O'Brien Must Go, season 2, episode 4 is out. We got Disney Plus. Captain America: Brave New World is now streaming. So if you missed that Marvel movie, go and check that out. I liked it when I saw it in the theater. I think it was a gateway drug basically for Marvel movies to go see Thunderbolts. Now that we got better Marvel movies, that one's it's okay. And then over on Netflix, we got Fear Street, the newest installment of Fear Street. Prom Queen is out. I know next week we've got the season 2 of Tires, Shane Gillis's show. And then on June 7th in the theaters, we're going to see Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff starring Ana de Armas. We're going to go ahead and just do a few things. I don't know what happened to Eric. Nathan Fielder, he calls the FAA very dumb and over response to The Rehearsal. Season 2 of HBO's The Rehearsal, taking him at a commercial airline safety. Oh, here's Eric. Hold on. Let's put you on speaker. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Jordan. Is the show still on?
Show's still on, but you are not.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. I was sitting there and all of a sudden all my screens just said everything was done.
That's weird. Yeah, you went blank. As far as I can tell, everybody is still in the chat hanging out.
Okay.
So
give me a moment. I will try to repatch here and see what happened. Unless a volcano went off, or
did you anger Big Volcano like we usually do? We make someone mad and we get shut down.
Maybe it was all the OnlyFans content.
Exactly. Well, if you want to stay on, I'm just trucking along. I'm going to go into the stories here. I'll leave the Harry Potter stuff.
We'll do it this way because that won't be annoying.
I know, it's going to be great. All right, so with season 2 of HBO's The Rehearsal taking aim at commercial airline safety, Nathan Fielder isn't mincing words about the Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA. As he pointed out, communication issues between co-pilots and the docu-comedy series, the Emmy nominees said the FAA revealed themselves to be very dumb with their response to his findings. During his recent appearance on CNN, Fielder was asked about the FAA's response that it mandates all airline pilots and crew members to complete interpersonal communication training, rejecting the show's claims that the pilot communication issues are contributing factors of crashes. His quote is, "That's dumb. They're dumb. Here's the issue. I trained to be a pilot. I'm a 737 pilot. I went through the training. The training is for interpersonal communication. Is someone that shows you a PowerPoint slide saying, if you're a co-pilot and the captain does something wrong, you need to speak about it. That's it. That's the only training." And they talk about crashes that happen, but they don't do anything that makes it stick emotionally. So he does a show called The Rehearsal, where he basically went and actually took a course, learned to be an FAA trained pilot for 747s, and is pointing out some of the gaps in how they do things. So the FAA came out very upset about it. I'm sure this is going to be an issue going forward, but I saw some of the clip of him pretending to be Sully Sullenberger, and he was listening to Evanescence as the plane was going down. It was really funny. So check that out. That's on HBO Max. Some rumors coming in for X-Men reboot that they're eyeing Bryan Cranston as a major role. It's been about a year since the rumors about Bryan Cranston meeting with Marvel Studios first surfaced. Now we have news that at least one of the characters from Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle is being eyed to play Professor X. So they're talking about probably getting Bryan Cranston in to come in and be Professor X. It's not official. There has been some meetings. I know Cranston in the past has said he doesn't want to play a character that's been seen on screen. He wants to try new ground. A lot of people were talking maybe Mr. Sinister. But right now they are eyeballing him to possibly be Professor X. But we'll see. Who knows? Disney Plus launches an always-on subscriber perks and sweepstakes functionality to their subscription service. They're unleashing a bunch of discount offers, sweepstakes aimed at spurring more Disney Plus and Hulu subscription signups and renewals. The new Disney Plus Perks program expands offers to streaming subscribers to be an always-on as opposed to limited-time promos. The program launches today, Thursday, May 29th, in the U.S., with additional international rollouts to follow later this year. Hulu is following suit. I think we got Eric back. Hi, Eric.
Hello.
So basically, they're doing a perks program. If you subscribe to Disney Plus or you have Hulu, you're going to get this. Here's some of the perks that they're doing. You can get a 6-month free Dash Pass delivery membership from DoorDash for new members only. 20% off at Adidas. 15% off purchases at Funko.com and Loungefly, which is great for me. 3-month free trial to the Clear Plus travel verification program. That's great for me. You already have that, and you love Clear. 2 months at Super Duolingo, discounts on little games, and they're doing discounts to Walt Disney World Resort and some of their All-Star Sports, and 2 nights stays at some of their smaller tier resorts. So they're trying to get people to come on, stay on, and subscribe to Disney Plus. So now they're just giving perks out. So instead of, bundling things, now they're saying, here's a bunch of coupons. Please keep the subscription going. So they're doing that. Let's move back to some of the bigger tier stuff. Harry Potter.
I went to the bathroom while you were telling me.
Or were you filling up your water?
No, I was going. I had the phone right by the base of the toilet, hoping that it was interrupting while you were talking. Oh,
I could hear it.
Cranston.
I wasn't sure if anybody else was catching on, but
okay.
No one said anything. So the Harry Potter HBO series has now cast their Harry, Ron, and Hermione. In fact, we got a picture of those little kids there. I'm sure their lives are not going to be great going forward. Dominic McLaughlin, the guy in the middle, will be playing the role of Harry Potter. Arabella Stanton is Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout is Ron Weasley. More than 30,000 actors auditioned for the lead roles since the HBO launched an open casting call last fall.
Before you continue with this...
This is it. The filming is expected to begin this summer. I
was wondering for a while now, because I know there was a big outrage about they want to cast a black guy for being Snape and all.
Which they did.
I was thinking about this a lot and go, why are they redoing this? If the movies were so successful and then they're pretty much like legendary films, they're not films that are going to be forgotten by any means. Why would they redo this whole thing here? And then you got to realize those movies started coming out in the early 2000s.
2001 was the first movie.
So we're already
November 2001.
Yeah, so we're over 20 something years removed. And it still seems like, well, these movies didn't come out that long ago, but it's over 20 years. So they're redoing this now for a new generation. I get it, but
they are. I think,
but it's not like the old movie. Like when you remake a movie, it's because the other movie was forgotten over time, and they would try to update it, whether good or bad. They update it for a modern audience.
Yeah,
people still watch those movies. People still buy the books and the merchandise for Harry Potter. So doing this over again didn't seem to make any sense. But then when it dawned on me, the books were in the 90s when this stuff started coming out.
Yeah.
And now the movies are 20, 25 years old. This makes sense. I think I'll watch this when it comes out. I'll give it a go.
I'm mixed because all the stuff that J.K. Rowling's been doing, like you said, she's been pushing anti-trans agenda and all this stuff. She's kind of sullied the name, and we have people that we both know that wouldn't even play the video game because they didn't want to support her in any way.
No, that's not the case at all. It hasn't sullied the name. I mean, she's associated because she created it. She makes all the money from it.
Yeah,
right. But it didn't sully the brand. It didn't sully all these people like, I'm boycotting Harry Potter. I'm boycotting the video game. They just said it to, at the time to be loud at the time, but the game did very well. It made a lot of money. The merchandise is still at the front of like Hot Topic and other stores like that. People are still buying this stuff.
Well,
the brand is fine.
The point I'm trying to make though, is that I feel, okay, well, good night, everybody. What I feel is, what they're trying to do is course correct from the rhetoric that she's putting out there. Mm-hmm. So that's why you have a black actor playing Snape now. You have, hold on, Eric's call. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Jordan.
Yep.
I don't think it sullied the name of Harry Potter at all.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah. Big fan, first time, long time. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, thanks. All right, that was Eric Daigle.
I love when we take the calls.
I know. I think what they're doing is they're doing a lot of weird course corrections. Like they're trying to be more inclusive. So you got Black Snape, like this little girl. I'm sure she's going to be fine. I'm sure she's a great actress. What you've done though is now you're casting against what people already know. Harry Potter is going to look like Harry Potter. Ron looks like Ron, but this little girl looks like of Spanish descent.
Well,
she's darker skinned. She's, it's going to make people upset.
She's British and Latin descent. Sure. I talked to one or two people that I know that I didn't grow up with the books. We didn't grow up with the books, but they grew up with the books, the movies.
I read them when the movies came out. Like I actually read them
because you had kids, so it made sense.
This is before I had kids. Like I saw the first movie in 2001, and then it was like, I'll read the book. So I read the books before the kids came along. Now I have a reason to watch.
I talked to two people who were more associated to that within their life than we are. I watched the movies, never read the books, but they grew up with this stuff, right? And I asked, what they thought about it. They're younger, but I asked what they thought about it. Didn't seem to care much about the Snape thing, but they also said, it doesn't make sense based on the descriptions in the book. He's very pale, very frail, very whatever. What I was told about the Hermione casting here is, even though the skin color is not based on what was in the book, and everyone's saying, well, they don't describe her in the book. It came out, there's one line where it said her face was very white she looked around a corner, her face was white from whatever. Mm-hmm. They took that meaning that she was a white kid, not that her face was white, meaning you're white,
scared
or that kind of thing. what I was told by these two, she looks like what the book describes her, the hair, what have you. The skin color, I think in this thing doesn't really matter for this character. Snape has a definite description.
Well, I mean, you're going to have a black guy being picked on by the main white character's
John
parents.
Boyega?
Yeah.
Okay.
They fly now? Anyway. Yeah. So I think that casting, it's...
Honestly, I don't
care either way.
I'm fine with this.
I'm not the internet, though. The internet's a bunch of racist fuck.
Yeah, exactly. From what these kids told me, they said the description of her, she looks to fit the description more than Emma Caulfield did. Just Emma Caulfield was a white kid and this girl is not. So that seems to be the problem. I don't think this particular casting is that big a deal. The other one I get. If I was had more investment in the Harry Potter property, I get it. Why they would have a problem with Snape if the character was specifically drawn out as one thing and you just changed it because why not? We can change what we want. I have a problem with that on any property. If you have a description from the writer, the creator, it says it's this in this way because of whatever reasoning, and you go, well, we can just change it because that's what we do now. You know, I get why people are outraged. This, I don't see a big a problem with this kid here.
I don't personally see the problem either. I am going to feel bad that these kids are starting their careers or whatever in such a huge ordeal, and people of the internet are going to just spit the worst and terrible things toward this little girl. And that's just like, I just feel like you're right. If they've described a character and they've pushed toward a certain character, then that character really should just be put to screen that way.
Right.
Also, it's Emma Watson, not Emma Caulfield. Emma Caulfield was on Buffy the Vampire.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was Tara.
The witch. She was the witch that was hooked up with what's his face.
Oh, with Xander.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was like the demon. Yeah, she was the demon that became like human.
Apologies. I did get that information wrong. To tie, I mean, was there any more with the Harry Potter thing? Because
no, that was pretty much it.
I want to tie something in with that, with getting frustrated with the casting, whatever. Mm-hmm. You saw the article with Jenna Ortega?
Yeah. In fact, I can even bring it up so we can talk on it. She is starting to really frustrate me. So
Jenna Ortega came out recently, I guess, because we're still waiting for season 2 of Wednesday. I guess it's coming sometime this year.
Comes out soon, yeah.
And she was talking about, it's not letting me access the article. If you have it, please bring it up there. But she's talking about how she was feeling like dehumanized or something because she had to be wearing a fucking schoolgirl outfit.
Well, she did an interview with Harper's Bazaar, and basically she said that after the aftermath of Wednesday, she became an unhappy person. She's like trying to figure everything out. She was an unhappy person after the pressure, the attention. As somebody who's quite introverted, it was so intense and so scary. So first of all, if you're that introverted and you don't want to live this life, why are you an actress?
Right. But also, I will say, if that was where that story ended, it's just like, look, I just got super famous because of this and I'm not used to whatever. Understandable. I get it. You're in the wrong field, or you need to adapt to this field now because now you've been a property that people care about. You're now forever associated with that. You're going to have to live that life, walk that line. But it goes further than that.
Yeah. So she goes on to talk about how that affected her and stuff like that and dealing with the new fame and all the eyes on her. And she goes, she's aware that playing a character of Wednesday will limit what the industry thinks she can or can't do as an actor, which is why she quickly signed on to star in a bunch of different movies like Death of a Unicorn, Hurry Up Tomorrow, things like that. She goes on to say, it's like how you're dressed in the schoolgirl costume. There's something about it that's very patronizing. Also, when you're short, people are already physically looking down on you. Girls, if they don't stay as this perfect image of how they were first introduced to you, then it's something's wrong. She's changed. She sold her soul. But you're watching these women in the most pivotal times of their lives. They're experimenting because that's what you do.
You know what? I know what it is. I bet you it's because they still think of her as Wednesday, not what's her name's daughter from Beetlejuice 2.
Right.
Or she was
being typecast like Wednesday in that character.
Was she in that X movie?
Yes. She was an X, and she's also
done a
Scream.
lot of different genres of work, and she's not known for or not as known for any of those things as she is for Wednesday.
Well, and she's a Disney kid. Like, she was on Disney shows and stuff like that. And she was also in the Scream movies. Like, she's literally like was the last couple.
Yeah, but that one was also surrounded with a lot of shit because she wanted to walk too because the other girl got fired.
Melissa Barrera, yeah.
Yeah. So she already, caused negative waves in that industry for her chosen career by doing that kind of shit. This isn't going to help either.
No.
With all this stuff. It's patronizing. You're a character who's at a prep school that wears a school uniform. It's your job. Right. It's not like they're saying you need to wear this and go out for appearances and live your life like that. It's being part of the job.
I just actors like this frustrate me because they want the fame, but they don't want the fame.
That's the shit that frustrates me. But remember the Broadway actress that was in Agatha
Patti LuPone.
All along. What's her name?
Patti LuPone.
Yeah, when they talking to her on the red carpet, she's like, "I don't know anything. I didn't watch anything. I'm never going to watch anything else again." You're paid for a job doing the purple carpet for that event and the press. You have a contract and an obligation to fulfill that. So you don't say that shit while you're still on the clock on their dime. Same thing with here. You got season 2 is they're still waiting for it to come out. That show came out 2 years ago?
Yeah, it comes out I believe this August.
And you start pulling that shit out there? Well, I'm not feeling respected as an individual. You shouldn't be. It's Hollywood. You're going through all that stuff. It's what that industry is and what you chose to go into. You got to deal with it. Now that's happening and you're like, I don't want this. I want it. You can't have both sides.
Yeah. Well,
so that was just disappointing to see.
Yeah. Well, we'll go from one actress not wanting to have her fame to another actress who is doing everything to capitalize on a couple things. Sydney Sweeny is selling soap made from her own bathwater with a limited edition stock. Sydney Sweeney is appealing to her more rabid fan base with the release of a new soap product containing her actual bathwater.
Now, wasn't this stuff that like OnlyFans people were trying to do and got shut down?
Yes, there was some chick I think on Twitch was selling bathwater from like her gaming streams. That's why you can't do bathing streams on that.
OnlyFans people were doing this. One girl was trying to sell her farts in a jar on eBay.
No, segment 1 again.
Yeah, it's exactly what this is, but she's a Hollywood actress, so there's more credibility than an OnlyFans person doing this.
Right.
Although I think this falls in the same weird category as what's her name who had the vagina candles?
Oh, fucking Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
For Goop.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is her quote. When your fans start asking for your bathwater, you could either ignore it or turn it into a bar of Dr. Squatch soap. And she said in a press release, it's weird in the best way. And I love that we've created something that's not just unforgettable. It actually smells incredible and delivers like every other Dr. Squatch product, which I use and I love them. Hopefully
really?
I do. So I got,
I've seen them in who carries it? Is it Target?
Walmart carries it for sure.
Somebody carries it. I know I went and it didn't smell good. I don't like that musk and earthy smell.
No, well, they have different ones and I'm nerdy to the point where like the ones that I've gotten were Star Wars based. So they released a series of Star Wars ones, which smell really good. They did Lord of the Rings ones. So that one smelled very citrusy. That one is very good. I bought like 4 of those. And then they just put out a Mandalorian one not too long ago, which is really good. And I like them because some of them have like heavy grit. So they're exfoliating and they're really good. So like it's a good product. Like it's a very good product. I think this is weird, but it's a good product. She goes, it's weird in the best way. And I love that we've created something that's not just unforgettable, actually smells incredible and delivers like every other Dr. Squatch product. Hopefully this helps guys wake up to the realities of conventional personal care products and pushes them towards natural ingredients. Only about 5,000 bars are going to be made. So right now it's not on sale. It's coming out, I believe, next week. There's also a way to win some. You can go on the Dr. Squatch website and enter a contest to actually win one of these limited edition ones. And for the show, I signed up. So let's see if we can get myself a bar, and then we'll see if it smells good. I looked at the ingredients, and other than the bathwater like angle of it, most of it sounds like it would smell good. Like it's all very earthy, pine, and all this stuff.
They probably have they had a thing of water.
Oh yeah, and just like droplets.
she sat down in a bathtub with a bikini, got right back up, and they're like, "Oh, that counts. That's what we're doing."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be that long.
It's a scam. What if they did the ads where she's just walking through a field with a knife and she's whittling the bar like Irish Spring?
Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh, the real smell of Ireland. And she's just sitting there and she goes, "This smells like my..."
Yeah, but for 50% off.
Yeah, how much? I was going to say, how much is this thing? Did they give a price?
No, but usually these bars usually run about $8 or $9.
So for $9, you can smell like my put.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's do some quick ones here. Let's do some music news. Billy Joel's canceling all his scheduled concerts following a brain disorder diagnosis. He announced that he's canceling 17 of his shows that he's booked at stadiums across North America and England due to his recent diagnosis of normal pressure hydrocephalus, or NPH. In a statement, Joel...
I could picture a shitty morning show or a news organization, like an AM news station, playing Billy Joel's Pressure.
Oh no!
While doing this thing, pressure, and that's how they do
pressure. There's water pressing on his brain. But yeah, they're basically water's building up in his head, and it's exacerbated by his performances, leading to problems with hearing, vision, and balance. Under his doctor's orders, Joel has said to have gone specific physical therapy and has been advised to stop performing while he recovers. They're saying that this is all canceled for now. He has high hopes that he's going to be able to perform again, but who knows how much this is actually going to go. Jennifer
All your life is Channel 13, Sesame Street. What does it mean? That video used to scare me as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, there's a scene where he slips off the couch and like the whole floor is like bubble bath or something. It's all bubbles. And he starts falling through the floor and he's just kind of flailing around.
You know what? I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, as like a little kid, that thing used to scare me.
The one that freaked me out the most was Tom Petty's Don't Come Around Here No More.
The cake?
Where she was the cake.
Wonderland?
Yeah, that one always messed me up. Soundgarden's Ben Shepherd hints at an unreleased album in Chris Cornell's tribute post. Ben Shepherd hinted at an unreleased album this past Saturday at a tribute post to Chris Cornell, the band's late frontman, on the 8th anniversary of Cornell's death. In the lengthy post, he speaks about being reminded of an unreleased song written by Cornell and drummer Matt Cameron called The Road Less Traveled. And he says, "For our album that has yet to be named, just hearing Chris's voice helps. I know he did that for everyone he knew, helped them, he did for me. Filled with self-doubt and indebtedness, it's just that in just his tone, knew what I was going through and forgave me like he always did, even when he was older." The song is presumably one of the 7 at the center of a bitter, protracted lawsuit brought against the surviving band members by Cornell's widow, Vicky Cornell, in 2019 over ownership of these 7 unreleased recordings in varying states of completion made before Cornell's death in 2017. So it looks like this lawsuit was settled in 2023. They're going to be putting this together, and we might see one more Soundgarden album. So we'll see.
That'd be good.
Is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah. See, everyone gets sucked into like, look, this right here.
This looks like a Nightmare on Elm Street fucking video. This is crazy.
Yeah, this part used to terrify me as a kid. He's falling through the floor and he's like trying to grab onto the couch. And then he falls into this like I don't know.
Like a Severance hallway.
Yeah, now it's Severance, but this was what, 84?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
It's terrifying.
It's an amazing video by, looking back at it now, but as a kid, you're like, and like here, he's getting sucked in down the hallway. And all the food's here. It looks like he's going through a garbage disposal.
Oh my God. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
No, now he's stuck in TV. He's Mike TV, everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Real quick, we're going to do some video game stuff and then we'll wrap this up. The next major update for something that Eric really loves, Phasmophobia, is coming around the corner. They're launching a new update called Chronicle this June 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that they're going to be doing is rewarding media. There's going to be a whole new media section that actually rewards you for uploading pictures and things like that. They're adding a new sound recorder Tier 1 which is available from level 4, brings that a whole new type of profitable evidence. Investigators can now record audio from equipment such as the spirit box, the sound of a ghost event, and paranormal sounds. So that'll be good with Parabolic.
They're updating one of the farmhouses too.
Yeah,
making it look abandoned and weathered.
So the Grafton farmhouse rework. So surrounded by a near-dead cornfield, Grafton farmhouse has been long abandoned, walls crumbled apart, doors boarded, and the building left open to be beaten by the extreme weather conditions. What caused this once thriving home to be evacuated, and what still lingers there. So new content for it. I know you had said that you would kind of come to the end of everything. You've been completing everything. You've had nowhere else to go.
I think I'm going to start live game streaming again.
You should.
I'm almost done with the Lighthouse Challenge for Phasmophobia. I've got about 10 more levels to go, and I have all these other horror games I want to play. So I think I might start like during the day. Yeah. While everyone's at work, I think I might just start streaming.
Why not? Yeah. And then we'll wrap this up with a big piece of nerdy news that I love. Giddles will love this one. Probably not. Netflix is in talks to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to live action. So they've been kind of talking. I know they're doing a Dungeons and Dragons show. Sean Levy, I believe, is either directing or at least producing. He was the one that did Deadpool and Wolverine. And he's doing, I think, a new Star Wars movie called Starfighter. They're in talks to bring Baldur's Gate 3. Whether or not they actually follow the storyline or they're just bringing characters in the world, no one knows yet. But yeah, they're in talks. So I love Baldur's Gate 3. I know Giddles love Baldur's Gate 3. It's such a great.
He's going to hate that it's on Netflix because
that's part of why I think he may not like it. Is that I think it's going to be too commercial. So
no, not too commercial. They're going to cancel it after one season, and he's going to get pissed because there's more stories to go, and they're not doing it.
That is true. Yeah, we're going to get part of Baldur's Gate 3. So,
right.
So, yep, we'll see. But that's it. I'm going to save some of the other stuff for next week, including some Savannah Banana stuff. I'm going to try to get some footage, but we'll be good.
All right. We do need to get out of here. This was a super long show. We're going to have to do a lot of creative editing to put this on all the platforms, but we will figure it out. And the music is playing, so that means it's plugs time, promo time. And as always, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
You can come check me out on Instagram, X, Blue Sky at Jinx Ronan, YouTube at Jinx Ronan, and Twitch at Jinx Ronan79. I've been streaming some stuff here and there. I want to get more consistent, but I gotta want to find something that I can really sink my teeth into. So we'll see. If you have an Amazon subscription and you want to use your free Twitch subscription through Amazon Prime, go over to our Twitch channel. It's Eric Nagel. Use your subscription. It helps us out. Doesn't cost you anything extra, and you can help the show.
All right. And for me and the show and everything else that involves this program, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social media platforms, including Blue Sky. Somebody actually asked me if we were on Blue Sky. I said yes, but we don't do anything over there because it's pointless. Blue Sky, Threads, Snapchat, all of those things are just fucking borderlands at this point. But you can find us in all those platforms. We don't just do much. Anyway, if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, do us a kindness. Put us in the first position on the presets. It helps us out there. Who knew? If you're on Apple and Spotify, do us a kindness over there. Leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. If you're the radio listener, audio listener, whatever, just on our own personal curiosities, send us a message. See what you're doing over there. If you like it or not. Are you moving over to the video platform? We've seen the video numbers go up. The audio numbers still doing very well. But I wanted to see if people are moving more over towards the video stuff, because who knows, down the line, if the audio stuff is really not going to be where it's at, maybe we just move full time over to the videos. I don't know. We're still figuring that stuff out. But it's going to be a while. Audio will still be there. Let us know if you're listening on that and if you enjoy listening to the show that way. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do this program, join us in our live rooms on Twitch and on YouTube, all under @It's Eric Nagel. Follow us there, like, subscribe, notifications, all of that stuff. It's free. And if you can't do any of that stuff and you just watch this whenever you have the time, or maybe you accidentally found the program, we appreciate that. It's on YouTube, full shows, clips, all of those things available for when you wish to consume all of that stuff. I think that's it, right?
I would hope so. After 3.5 hours, I think we hit all the topics we need to touch.
Fine. Until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
Our prime sponsor is now our prime suspect.
Ooh, that's good. That will make a great last line for an episode.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.